Okay, so today we are going to do swatch comparisons and potential shade similarities, shade dupes within Pat McGrath Labs' Mothership collection and her new Mothership palette, Huetopian Dream. So we're going to specifically focus on Divine Rose 1 and 2, but I will add in any other Mothership palettes I have in my collection that I think might have some similar tones, or some tones that you guys might look at and think that they are the same, if not very, very similar. And then if that's the case, what's the point in purchasing Huetopian Dream? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get stuck into this video. We're going to have a good old swatch party. I'm also going to do a look using Huetopian Dream mainly, and I might also pull from Divine Rose 1 and 2. We don't know. I don't know yet because the eye look's not done. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you stick around. Let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's just have a good old-fashioned swatch party. So I thought it would be a lot easier to just kind of like face my camera down on my desk and kind of do it like this, and I'm just like hands. I'm not a hand model, so leave me alone. Because then I can just kind of focus on the swatches and everything and not like trying to get my camera to focus, etc. So Huetopian Dream Mothership 9 from Pat McGrath Labs. Now I'm sure you've seen all of the reviews, all of the comparisons and everything already, so if you're here watching, thank you so much. But this is her newest Mothership palette. Now I have a review and another look up on my channel, so I'll link them down below for you if you're interested, and we are going to do a look today as well. So stay tuned until the end for that. This palette looks very, very similar to Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2. And to be honest with you, I am surprised that she hasn't just called this Divine Rose 3. I wonder if that's because in her mind this is really, I mean, obviously in her mind this is a complete departure from that, or is it just because she knew that her kind of audience was kind of getting over the Divine Rose line? I'm not too sure, because this is, even when you get it in person, you can see like it makes a really good sister to Divine Rose 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and bring Divine Rose 1 and 2 into the mix here so that you guys can see. I'm gonna try and center these as best I can. Okay, that just took an embarrassingly long time to like center and get into frame. But because of the way that these palettes are like shaped, this is the best I can do. Okay, so we've got Huetopian Dream number 9, Mothership 9 right here. We've got Divine Rose, the original Divine Rose 1 right here, and then we've got Divine Rose 2 right here. When you get these in person, you really can instantly see the shade differences. So when you do get Huetopian Dream in person, many of you probably already found this from picking up, like if you've received your palette already, but you can really see the differences instantly just from opening the palette up without even swatching, that they are different and they are unique shades. Because when you look at the pictures online, you honestly think that these shades all are the same. Like you really do. Like I thought that this purple matte right here in Huetopian Dream was the same purple matte as in Divine Rose 1. I really did. And same with the browns. And then this coral shade, I mean, I think you can tell in promo pics now that this coral shade is definitely not the same as this one from Divine Rose 2, but they really do look similar, and I 100% was scared that these shades were going to be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and we're going to swatch the shades that we think are similar within these three, and then I'm just going to briefly talk about any other shades in the Mothership collections that I think are similar, but honestly they're not. They're all unique. Are there similar trains? Yes. Obviously this is a bronze and this is a bronze, but they're two completely different undertones, right? And then obviously these are like peaches and corals, but they're two different shades. So there's families and there's similar shades, but they're not like the same, if that kind of makes sense. So if you're someone that wants completely different palettes with completely different color stories and nothing like looking similar, then these are not for you. You just need one or two, like just one of these three, if that kind of makes sense. Although Divine Rose 1 honestly is like such a different vibe when you get it in person to these two. I'd say Huetopian Dream and Divine Rose 2 are definitely like, they're almost like they're close sisters, whereas like Divine Rose 1 is like the sister that's like 10 years older, and you can tell that she's a sister, but like she's also her very own individual person, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's just go ahead and get to swatching. Now, I'm gonna do the mattes first. So the first one I'm gonna do is this one right here, which I'm pretty sure is Super Shock. I don't know where my shade names are. So I'm gonna put the shade names on the screen as I swatch them, and then I'm gonna point to which color I'm swatching to, okay? So I'm gonna swatch this one and this one from Divine Rose 2 so that you guys can see how different these are. So these are the first two shades that we are swatching. So this is the Super Shock shade from the Huetopian Dream palette, and then this is the muted like pinky shade from Divine Rose 2. So this one right here. So as you can see, getting these in person, completely different. This is so much more of a neutral, like a muted tone, whereas this is like a vibrant coral in real life. And honestly, these two work really well together. This is a beautiful transition shade, and then this is like to pop, like to do the pop of color. So you can see how they're sisters, right? But they're two totally different shades. Next up, we're gonna swatch the brown matte shade and the brown matte shade. So this is Huetopian. Obviously this one is Huetopian. This is Divine Rose 1. As you can see, this is Huetopian Dream, and then this is Divine Rose 1. Huetopian Dream's brown is a lot lighter, a little bit more cool toned. Divine Rose 1 is a lot deeper and a little bit more like chocolatey. So again, very good like sister companion palettes, because you could pop this shade down and then use this shade to like deepen it up. So they're beautiful shades, but they're very, very different to each other. So the last two mattes that we're gonna swatch is this muted purple in Huetopian, and then this muted like purple shade in Divine Rose 1. So as you can see, we have the muted purple from Huetopian and then the purple from Divine Rose 1. They're so far different. Like they're not, again, like beautiful transition shade, beautiful shade to deepen it up, but so different, so not in the same even like range as each other, to be completely honest with you. Like they're just so, so different. All right, so now we have the three golds between these palettes. Now, this one right here is the gold from Divine Rose 2. This one is the gold from Huetopian Dream, and this one is the gold from Divine Rose 1. So you've got these three golds within the shades, and as you can see, completely three different golds. Fun fact, my favorite gold is the one from Divine Rose 1 because it's a little bit more of a cool toned kind of gold, but they're all very pretty, but you can just see completely different. Also, the gold from Huetopian Dream is a lot more flaky and glittery, if you are wondering, than say these two. These two are more like creamy metallic shades, especially this one. This is more like a cream metallic. This is like a more like toppery, glittery shade, and then this is just like a pure metallic-y kind of closer to this one, but even more creamy, if that makes sense. Now we have the two bronze shades from Huetopian Dream. So this one is from Huetopian Dream and this one is from Divine Rose 1. And again, completely different, more of a cool tone bronze, more of a warm chocolatey tone bronze. So these are the three champagne shades in the palette. So this one is the champagne shade from Divine Rose 2, and you can see it has a pink. This is like almost like a duochrome type shade because it definitely shifts. It looks like champagne in the palette, but it's a pinky champagne. This one is from Huetopian Dream and this one is from Divine Rose 1, and honestly on camera I'm not sure how I'll feel editing this back, but they look the same on camera, but in real life there is a slight difference. And when I say a slight difference, this one is more, oh, I don't even know how to, like warmer toned, and this one is more cool toned again. So I guess the thing that you can take away from these kinds of palettes is Divine Rose 2 is a lot more pinky, purpley, like coppery, I guess. This one is very, very warm toned, and then Divine Rose 1 is very, very cool toned. So they kind of each have their little purpose within the Mothership family, if you will. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to swatch each of these palettes up my arm, and I'm going to show you like side by side, if I can do this editing wise, what each of these palettes looks like swatched. And then I'm going to go through just on the screen and show you kind of swatched all of the bronzes in the Mothership family, etc. Anything that's like kind of similar, but I'm not going to talk through, otherwise this video will be a million years long. God, I can't talk this morning. And then we're going to do a look. So 2 jiffies. Okay, so that is the end of the swatch party. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you liked that format. Let me know if you did like that format, or if you would rather see like the talking head swatching style, because I do have like my ranking videos and stuff like that coming up as well that I'm filming, and I really would like to know if you prefer that kind of like desk formula or like me talking kind of formula. So let me know in the comments down below if you could, pretty please. Now, we're gonna move on to the eye look stage. I'm gonna go off camera, create an eye look, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do it together. So again, just a jiffy. Alrighty, so this eye is done. I've just done a very quick kind of like smoky bronzy eye. I am actually working today. I'm filming this like super early in the morning. So I've just done something that's super wearable just in case I have meetings and all that kind of stuff today. So there you go. I have dipped into all three palettes. I'm sorry, obviously you don't need to dip into all three palettes. You can, if you just have one of these, you can absolutely just use one of them. If you have all three, then you can follow along as well. So the first one I did was I took this shade from Divine Rose 2 because it is just a beautiful, like more muted kind of transition shade, and I really like it. Now I've also primed with my NARS primer already as well, in case you're wondering. And I'm just literally putting I can never say this, windscreen wiper motions through the crease here. Oh, this is a Edole Tools 785 blending brush, by the way. So now I picked up my Refa 15 and I'm going into Huetopian Dream, and I'm picking up this like more muted purple matte shadow, and I'm going to pop that into the crease as well to add some depth. And I did actually pack this shade into the outer corner here, which you think this shade, honestly, it's so much closer to that Divine Rose 2 shadow than you think. You think it'd be a lot more purpley, but it's really not. Now I'm just taking that same matte shade from Huetopian Dream, the purple one, and I'm going to put this on a Edole Tools 777 shader brush, and I am just running that really softly underneath my eye. And then I picked up my Refa 14 and I'm going into the brown matte in Huetopian Dream, and I'm just popping that into the crease as well to deepen it up. And I'm also packing this into the outer corner. I just took that same dark brown shadow on a smudger brush, and I'm just running that also just really lightly underneath this lower lash line as well. Then I'm taking Intensifies from Pat McGrath, and I'm just gonna lay that down on my lid. I'm pretty much covering nearly the whole lid with this. And then I'm going into this bronze shade right here, which is actually the last shade that I haven't used from this particular palette on camera with you guys. So there you go, you've gotten a 3 looks, 1 palette across 3 videos. I am just wetting this shadow as well, even though I've put the intensifiers down, just because I am working. I just want like extra insurance that this isn't gonna put any fallout on my face. You don't need to do this at all. The intensifiers does cover it. I'm just being cautious because it's such a dark shadow. So the first look I did, I used the purples. The second look I used the duo or the multi-chrome and the gold. And then this look I'm using the bronze. Also the first look I used the pink metallic as well, which is still my favorite shade of this palette. Very pretty this eye look is though. Like this bronze is very, very pretty. Now the last shade I went into was the gold from Divine Rose 1, just on a little pencil brush, and I'm just popping this into the outer corner right here. Now I'm not actually putting any eyeliner on today because my eyes get quite sensitive when I look at the computer all day. So I'm just putting my Pat McGrath mascara on, and then we're done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my mascara on and I will be right back. Alrighty, and this is the finished makeup look for today. What do we think? Very, very wearable bronzy eye. So Huetopian Dream, swatch comparisons, swatches. I feel like I covered all my bases, but let me know if I was missing anything for you guys with this swatch comparison, and if you want to see anything further. Again, I will link all of the other looks that I've done with this palette down below for you. So now I actually have used every single shade in this palette on camera on my eyeballs. So there you go. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Have you picked it up? Are you still waiting for it to come in the mail? Or are you thinking about picking it up in the sale? Or are you just like, nah, after seeing all of that, I'm good? Let me know. Now, that is the end of the video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I hope that you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.